How's it going, Jordan?
How you doing?
Through the first 4 weeks of the season, obviously there are always things you can do better. But what have you liked about about how the defense and your defensive line group as a whole have executed?
We've been making a lot of plays and running to the ball, and ultimately, if you run to the ball, you're bound to make a play. And just flying around, communicating, we're just gelling really well together, and it's just been fun out there playing for everybody.
Coach Ham last week said, when the linebackers lead the team in tackles, that means you guys up front are doing your job. How have you guys kind of funneled, I guess, the running backs and all those guys, the linebackers, and what is that chemistry between the two groups like?
There's a lot of chemistry. They ultimately set the front. They tell us what we're doing, where we're going, and we just do our job. And it just so happens that plays are out there to be made, and ultimately we want to try and make them before they do. But you know what I mean? It's just how the chips fall is just how it goes.
From watching film on how you guys have performed through the first 4 weeks, like you did last week, what were some of the things that stood out to you from watching film?
From watching film, I don't know. It's not anything I can really pinpoint. It just looks like we're all out there having fun, flying around to the ball, running to the football. And it's very rare to see 8 to 11 guys flying and getting to the ball. You know what I mean? But it's just fun out there playing. There's not anything you can really pinpoint that we're doing exactly besides just getting 11 hands to the ball.
From watching film on Notre Dame, they obviously have used 3 different quarterbacks at times. They have a big offensive line up front. What have been some of your takeaways from watching film on them?
Like you mentioned, they got 3 different quarterbacks, so all 3 of those guys do things differently. So we got to know who's in the game and when they're in the game and the situation. Up front, like you said, they're really big. They're a really good offensive line, and they work well together. So for us, we just got to go in there, do our job, and attack them before they attack us.
All right, let's go to David Teal on Zoom.
Jordan, I'm guessing everyone wants to play as many snaps as possible, but how much of an advantage is your depth at defensive tackle where you guys can rotate and stay fresh?
It's super critical. Just having guys be able to rotate in and being able to have that trust for one another, knowing that the next man that's going in, there's not going to be any drop off. You know what I mean? We don't really look at it as a ones and twos. You know what I mean? Just guys run out there first, and after that, we just rotate. We keep guys fresh, keep guys going, and it's super important because if you're out there and you're dead tired, you're not really helping the defense. You know what I mean?
Virginia Tech is ranked among the top 15 in scoring defense and opponents' third down conversions. Do you feel like you guys are playing as well as those numbers indicate?
I've never been a numbers guy, never been been huge on rankings or anything like that. If we go out there and do our job and fly around and make plays and do what we're supposed to do and we're in the position that we're supposed to be in, then that's just something that's just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? It's just something that we look at it, we take not notice of it, and then just move on and keep doing what we're doing.
Jordan, you went through 2 game planning weeks for these guys last year. I know a lot of the personnel is different and your teammates are different, but how much will you lean on that this week? And have you had more of a voice, not that you don't normally, in terms of your preparation?
I wouldn't say I would have more of a voice just because of what they did last year. Like you said, the personnel's different, their play style's probably different, things like that. For us last year, their personnel was a huge part of the game plan, you know what I mean? And with them not having that personnel, we just got to go off with what they've done this year and what they've been doing this season. Can't really fall back on what they did last year.
All right, go to Zoom and Aaron McFarland.
Hey, Jordan, clearly without you around, Clemson is completely collapsed. They're not what they used to be. I'm just joking. They're not as strong as they once were. Do you hear me all right?
Hey, Aaron, can you turn up your audio a little bit? We can barely hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, a little bit better.
I'm sorry. Your former school, without you around, is struggling a little bit. I mean, I'm wondering if when you look at the whole picture of the ACC, I mean, it seems like it might be a little bit more there for the taking than people thought coming into this season.
It definitely is. ACC is wide open. You've been seeing a lot of ranked teams go down each week, and it's just wide open. You just got to go out there and take it week by week, literally, like go 1-0 each week. And that's something that we've been focusing on huge, because you can't look ahead, especially with how the season's going in the ACC. You know what I mean? You just can't look ahead. You got to focus on, be great where your feet are.
Like, and I know you talked before the season about how when you watch Virginia Tech on film, you love the way they kind of flew around and made plays, and that was what drew you to them.
Right.
It sounds like you're getting what you expected when you came here, a lot of freedom and fun.
It definitely is. Like I said, I talked about it being a big reason why I came here, and now that I'm playing it, I'm having a lot of fun, and it's just loving the game all over again.